He raises, fold again. I'm not that great of a heads-up player, to be honest. So if you notice me making a lot of mistakes here, you now know why. I think that was fine to shove. Don't want to raise and get shoved because, again, you're not doing great once he's reshoving. Even if he's reshoving a wide range, you just won't know how wide. If he raised there, I'm going to shove on him. I feel like I have to start widening my reshove range, although and when he calls me, he's not going to show up with like monster hands every time. So I'll take it down there, and again, you take it down a lot of the time when you do that. I'll fold. He's starting to tighten up a bit now because he knows I'm not folding to all of his opens. Ace 10 would have gotten that in for sure. I'm not playing every hand because I think he'll be flatting a fair bit. I want hands that place at least somewhat well post flop. Queen 2 and King 2 aren't good, and he's very wide when he's reshoving, so don't want to get involved there. Queen 3 suited, on the other hand. I think he's starting to respect my raises a bit more because he's seen me fold on the button as well. Ace Jack off, easy shove, or easy call, I guess. Just have to dodge a 6, and I'll be a big chip later or a heart. And I do. Easy shove here. Any king in that spot, any decent queen, any decent jack as well, just a shove in here. This would be an easy call with King 10. He's going to have to go fairly wide here. He has 6 big blinds and I have fold equity, so even this jack 6 shove, which looks pretty wide, is actually justified. And he'll call me with a hand that actually dominates me, luckily. But I think a lot of the time he just folds there. I mean, he's not going to always have the ace, or, I mean, if he has 6-9, he's folding. Tempted, but I've seen him do this with worse, so I don't really want to call with King 5 suited. Which might not be horrible. He could have a lot of Jack 10s there. Jack 9s, Queen 9s, Queen 8s, etc. I think raise calling is fine here. I think by just shoving I'm only getting called by better, but if I raise I can induce a wider range, which actually isn't as strong as my hand to shove, such as hands like King 8. He's playing a lot tighter than he was at the beginning of this heads-up game. I think that's because of me folding the button a fair bit as well, so he knows I'm not messing around sometimes when I have it. Shoves, 8-4, folding. I'll open and hope he doesn't shove. A lot of inexperienced players would try to probably call there and hit whatever speculative hands they had, but when you just flat call, you're putting yourself in a position where if you don't hit, you either have to bluff to win, which might not work out because your opponent's representing a strong hand, and you just don't want to put yourself in a position where you feel like you need to hit or else you're screwed, else you're in a weird guessing game of what they have. Unless you have a plan, like true bluff to check raise certain types of flops, which is fine. And now I'm going to start opening wide, and he just flatted. I'm going to bet big here, and relatively big, so I usually bet small, just to make it more difficult for him to reshove. And I bet small, I think he reshoves a wide range. A much wider range than he would here, but he ends up shoving anyway. I don't think he had a 6 or a 4, but even his flush draws have really good equity against me, and I could have checked back that flop, but then he's bluffing the turn a lot of the time anyway, and I'd have to fold. It's actually more difficult than I'm thinking now to beat this guy. I'm gonna raise, and I think I'm gonna call when he shoves. I'm gonna check here because this is a very dry flop, and I'm thinking he's gonna be bluffing a lot of the turns, trying to rep the ace that I'm not repping. I'm at 400 now because flush draw came in, other draws just came in. I'm gonna try getting value out of them. I bet 600, small bet, and I think it might get a crying call out of some nines. I'm value betting, obviously. This isn't bluff. I think I have the best hand here, and I do, and he calls me with worse. I'm thinking with some sort of maybe 9-jack, 9-queen hand. I'm surprised he didn't lead the turn, actually. Shoves. 9-7's a fold here, but it's not. It's pretty close to my calling range. 8-7 shove. Calls me again. He just has me dominated. Every time he calls me, he's had me dominated, which is lucky actually on his part. But you know, what can you do every time your opponent wakes up with these sort of hands? You don't really have many options. Min raises. I'm gonna shove with the jack 8. He calls aces. Let's see, just cold decked right now. Don't really have much to do, and I end up getting very lucky. But you know, the way he played those aces was fine. I'm just thinking he's going to be opening and with a range I could exploit by shoving, but he happened to have it there. I'm wondering if I shove, do I have fold equity? Because if I don't, then I would just fold here. And I'm thinking I have fold equity, so I will shove. I clearly didn't because he called me with probably the bottom of his range. And we end up chopping. A very good board. It's a very questionable shove, by the way, with the 3-5. Fold. I just want to. I really think he's gonna he keeps picking up hands when I'm shoving, so all of my shoves look very stupid right now. But he should be folding a lot of the time here. And there you go. That's why I'm shoving such a wide range, because I've got fold equity to pick up all those chips when he doesn't call. Need to pick up something of a decent hand here. Decent queen, decent king. This is loose. This will be a very loose call. I just think he'll be shoving a lot of worse hands here, and I'm getting about 1.5 to 1. Even better than that, I think I have to call. And I have the best hand, but again, this time he outflops me. It's more of a battle of who has the worst hand here at this point. I'm gonna raise fold. Pick up the blinds. It was a loose call with the 4-king, but it worked out. I have to stop stealing as wide as I am now. I think he's definitely on to what I'm up to. This would be a snap shove or a snap call if you shoved. King 10. This is really close to King 10. This was a lot closer than the other hand because he has more chips now, so I think he's not doing it as wide as he was before. But I feel like King 10 is too strong to fold here, so I'm going to call. I'm ahead again. And I end up winning. And that is how you play $7 6 max turbos. You get very unlucky multiple hands in a row, lose a bunch of flips, and then suck out with 8-jack versus aces. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching these videos, and hopefully I'll make a new series soon. Bye.